Hey, hi, hello, namaste, hearty, hearty, welcome. Such a joy to see you all. Yes, yes, yes. Keep coming. Please share the link. Please share the link with your colleagues, friends. Let them know that iLead is now launching CPA along with Orbit Institutes. Thank you very, very much for joining us today. Hi, Mahesh. Hi, Dipti. Hi, Prem. Hi, Alex. Yes, we are also equally excited. It's a wonderful news, for all our enrolled agents and also, people who are looking to become, uh, you know, CPAs. Such a joy, to see you all. Yes, keep coming. Hello, Anu. Very good evening. Very good evening. Hi, Kirti. Very good evening. Hi, Pavitra. Very good evening. Hi, Gautam. Yes, I am doing good. Yes, definitely, definitely. Yes, we have to keep growing and we have to go from glory to glory. And such a nice to see, you all join for the CPA launch. Hi, Vasuja. Hi, Rohit. Yes. Hi, Nikhil. Yes, thank you for joining. Hi, Rahman. Okay, fine. Please keep coming. Okay, and I will move ahead, into the presentation further. And yes, keep coming, Priya. Yes, Chitra, please keep coming. Good to see you all. We also have, our hosts, our presenters, for the evening waiting on the Zoom. I will also, get them in, once people are live and they've joined. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Yes, yes, very good evening. Very, very good evening. Such a wonderful, news for all of you. We are going to hear, one of the pioneers who has brought CPA into India. Yes, come on. Just leave everything and stay focused. We have wonderful speakers for us today. Hi, Rasesh. Yes. Keep coming, keep coming. I know we are a very big army. Yes, keep coming. Okay. Okay. Fine. So we will move into the presentation. Let me give you, a little intro before we get started. Hearty welcome foremost to everybody, who has joined us today. Just a second. Okay. So wait for the presenters, to complete the presentation, and then, we will take up the questions one by one. Okay. So today, like, what we have done in year earlier, we have discussed about so many things. We have discussed about unemployment statistics. We have discussed about underemployment statistics. I'm not going back, into all those things. We have spoken about, housewives, working professionals, then retired professionals. Okay, just a second. Yeah. Okay. So we have seen, about the percentage of housewives, working professionals. Then we have also spoken, about the current entrepreneur statistics in India. Then And we have also discussed about, what we are out of our job today. About so many things, we have discussed. What if there is another worst pandemic? Is my audio not clear? Fine. Hello, hello, check. Is my audio clear to you? Is my audio clear? Fine. So we have discussed, about all these things. When you would be making 7-digit income, and all that, and how we are going to, plan for marriage, for all these things, see, we have set the goals, we have set the goals, but the plans can keep changing, okay, but the goal must not. And all these, are the ways how we can reach out, to the end goal, okay. Okay, see, I think I have the guests, waiting on the Zoom. Let me just get them first. So good to see you all. Hearty welcome, Krishnan sir. Hearty
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you very much, for joining us today. Our students are much excited. Somebody is playing the audio in the background, so maybe it is not audible. Is everybody able to listen? Is the team able to listen? Okay.
Much excited.
Okay, fine.
Somebody is playing the audio.
Okay, I could hear a resound of this. Is your team able to listen, sir? Krishnan sir?
Yeah, we can hear you very properly.
Okay, fine. Absolutely fine. Okay, fine, sir. Over to you. So, team, and students, we have with us Sir Krishnan Sharma. He's the president, CEO, and founder of Orbit Institutes. And ma'am, Sharmili, would you like to give a little intro about Orbit Institutes and sir, before we get started?
Yes.
Nanda, one thing. Nanda, would I be able to share the screen? You enabled that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Shimini, you want to take over?
Yeah. So Orbit Institutes was started by Mr. Krishnan Sharma in 1997. So he passed his CPA exam when he was a resident of Canada, and after that he approached Becker for the franchisee of India. So along with Morgan International, Mr. Sharma started the Becker Institute for CPA in India. He was a pioneer of bringing the Becker course to India. So from 1997, we have been offering these courses in 12 major cities in India. So mostly Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi. We are based out of Orbit Institute's head office. The corporate office is based out of Pune. And me, Sharmili Sawant, as he introduced, I'm the business manager for Orbit Institutes in Pune. I look after the operations. And I also do the hand-holding for the students in all their queries from start to finish, right? From the point of registration to clearing their exam and also getting a license. Mr. Sharma, he's a CPA himself. He's done CA from Canada. He's a CPA from US. He's an MBA from India. And he's a dual citizen. He's a citizen of Canada as well as the US. He also has two other firms called US India Tax and Sharma Marcus, where he operates. He has tax file companies where he does auditing, attestation, and tax filings for US companies and US citizens. So, Mr. Sharma, do you want to take over from here?
Yeah, thank you, Shamili, and thank you, Nanda, for this introduction. Firstly, I'd like to announce that we have opened an Orbit Center in Hyderabad in conjunction with iLead, which is led by Mr. Nanda, and you all know him so well. And it's my greatest pleasure to also have Mr. Aziz on this seminar. Mr. Aziz is the Director of International Marketing with Becker. And so he's basically for all international markets for the Becker products. He's the person. And Aziz, welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. So Shamil has already mentioned my introduction. As you know, I'm a CPA from US, qualified in '97. Took Becker to India in '97, and today we have a history of almost like 26, 27 years, offering this course in conjunction with the Becker, Becker professional education. So we feel that the CPA qualification is highly in demand, and we've done this for 27 years now, and there's a lot of demand because for many reasons. I mean, India is the back office of a lot of organizations, which get their accounting, tax work, tax processing done in India. And that makes this qualification very attractive from an employment perspective in India. So, you can get easily employed in India in case you don't want to move out. This qualification also gives you opportunities to move abroad. I mean, over the 27 years that we've been in existence, I would say if I want to put some percentages to how many people stayed back in India, how many people moved out of India. So I would say, we have roughly 70% of the people who moved out of India. They moved to, and they've not only moved to US, they moved to all countries. I mean, our students today might be working in Dubai, in Singapore, in Canada, in United States and in India, a lot of people. So Orbit Institutes has locations in India, many locations, and we've been connected with a lot of corporate houses offering this. So I personally feel, and as a teacher, as a counselor, when it comes to education, it is probably the most important thing for any aspiring student, to qualify, to get that qualification, which will open up opportunities, within the country, outside the country. And that's why we're having this seminar to welcome you to the courses that we are going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the CPA profession, the CPA professional education of the United States, and the CMA qualifications. So we handle these products on behalf of Becker Professional Education, and Becker is the leader in these courses. Founded in 1957 with almost like 60, 70 years of history, and the topmost provider. You can be sure that you're with the best provider to clear this examination. When I did my CPA dating back to '97, I did not even think for a second. I went to a Becker Center in Toronto, and all that is history today. And because of all that, we are offering all this here. So a lot of changes are taking place in the CPA examination, and we're going to introduce you to about what is required to be a CPA, there's a CPA evolution. The whole pattern of the CPA examination is changing. So I'm going to share my screen and take you through that presentation. So the agenda for today's seminar is that I'm going to expose you to these qualifications, tell you about what are the changes that are taking place in these qualifications, starting from January 1st, how Orbit and how Becker can, basically ensure that you have the right tools, the right material, the right expertise to prepare and pass this examination. And it is validated by history, by our statistics of last 27 years. So, and then, what are the changes in the evolution? So I'm just going to share my screen, and then it will be followed by questions and answers, which all Aziz, Nanda, Payal, Shamili, me, you all can, you'll all participate. So just give me a second.
Team, you can also check the comments of the students on YouTube too. I'm very excited to see you all. While you're on Zoom, probably you can just mute, be in low volume, and just play that video on your mobile or something, so that you can see the excitement of the students also. There are 2,470 people are watching us live now. So just to let you all know.
Yeah, tying up and having an Orbit center in Hyderabad, and because a lot of your students, Nanda, over the years have chosen US tax preparation as a career, and they're getting employed in India because we have big accounting firms like Deloitte, KPMG, which do tax preparation, and all the students get employed very, very easily. And you've been so successful, and talking to you over the last 6 months, and associating with you, we felt that an Orbit center within your location would be the best thing. And trust me, with all our minds and our skills and our expertise all clubbed together, with your reach, with our expertise, and an Orbit center in Hyderabad, we will ensure. I just want to share this news also with you, that just like Shamili said, I have Orbit Institute, which offers these professional courses. I've got 2 CPA accounting firms, which is called Sharma Marcus and Associates, and Orbit and US India Tax, which has a back office in Pune. So we provide our students, practical training in US tax preparation, so that their job placements become much easier. They have hands-on experience in preparing tax returns. Now, the news that I want to share is that Aziz also, I have ventured into another business, and I've partnered with a placement agency in the United States, in New Jersey. It is called Miller Staffing, and very soon all this will be on our website. Now, so Miller Staffing is going to provide jobs for accounting professionals who are CPAs, EAs, CMAs, CFAs, for jobs within India, in United States, in Canada, and worldwide. So this company is based out of New Jersey. It's been in existence for 17, 18 years. So they're into placements in different streams, in warehousing and admin and sales and all that stuff. I got into association with them to open a separate vertical strictly for the finance, accounting, and taxation background. And so what does this do to all you prospective students? It gives us the opportunity to connect you with all these potential employers, and not only in India. It will give us the opportunities to connect with employers in Canada, US, in Singapore. We are members of associations like Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, the American embassies worldwide. So we have a full-fledged plan to extend our reach for employment for all of you. I mean, in across the globe, as much as we can do. I mean, we're going to try our best, but in Africa, in Asia, and all this stuff. So coming back to the CPA review course and what Orbit offers. So firstly, the qualification, the CPA evolution. As I mentioned to you, this CPA examination is changing on a significant change in the CPA examination is being taken place on January 10th, 24. So at present, very quickly, the CPA examination is the topmost qualification of the US, very similar to CA in India. And, over the years, there were four main examinations: auditing, financial, accounting and reporting, regulation, and business environment. And this is how we've been doing it for ages. We've been writing these four exams. But starting January 10th, 24, the BEC paper, the business environment paper, is being eliminated and is being given the option to choose any one of those three discipline sections. So you have the option of, so when it comes, so the auditing paper, the financial paper, and the regulation paper will stay as they are. And the business environment paper will have three disciplines. One is business analysis and reporting, information systems and control, and tax compliance and planning. So you will have to select one of these three for the business paper. So the core paper plus will need to pass, or the course you'll have to pass. It'll still be a computer-based exam. The way the CPA examination is offered is that it's a computer-based exam available upon demand, and the examination can be taken at Prometric testing centers in India. So that pattern will still stay the same. And the focus, of course, is, from conceptual understanding to critical thinking to problem-solving skills. That is what the CPA examination focuses on. And there will be a new sort of format, the drag and the drops and multiple choice questions. So it will be more focused on data analyticals and technology. Everything is getting, IT prone. I mean, you have artificial intelligence. So even the profession is recognizing the need to, adapt to all these changes. So that is why we have that specialization. Now this examination will be more challenging. When we concentrate on certain disciplines, we go from a general business environment paper and get into more disciplines. So there is going to be more in-depth review of that course, and that is what makes this a little more challenging. So it ensures that the CPAs in the 21st century have all the skills needed to make the profession, and adapt to all the requirements of the employer. So there are some blueprints. If you want to get more details, there are sites, and Becker also has a exposure draft on what's going to be covered and all the stuff here. The new CPA examination is going to be score weight based. So a typical pattern of the examination is that 50% of the choices are multiple choice and 50% are task-based simulations, which are basically like essay type questions. Now, under the present BEC paper, we have 15% to writing skills, but that is going to be eliminated. That is going to be eliminated because, we have to choose one of those three disciplines. So it will be 60% multiple choice and 40% task-based simulation. Section time will not change. Each paper is 4 hours, and it will be 50% multiple choice, and you'll have 8 task-based simulations, and in BEC you'll have 4. The written communication will go. In the specialization paper, will be 60% multiple choice and 40% task-based simulation and all that stuff. So there were no changes in the skill level, the technical abilities, and all that stuff. All that will stay the same.
So you can share the screen in case you want to. You're already allowed to share the screen.
I did share the screen.
If you want
So,
to.
okay.
We cannot see your screen, Mr. Sharma.
Oh, 1 second then. How do you share the screen now? I have to go. Oh, you can't see the screen? I thought I did share the screen. What do you do? Oh, that one. Can you, Nanda, can you share this presentation? Can you just bring it down there and come to the CPA's exam skill level slide?
Okay, just a second, sir.
We old generation people are not that IT prone skills and.
No, that's absolutely fine, sir.
Pardon me for
Absolutely fine, sir.
This group of I was all this. Oh, okay. So okay, maybe you can monitor and navigate that presentation, and I'll I can keep on telling you when to switch to the next slide. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Let me just do that for you. Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
see
we
this.
can.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So maybe I'll quickly, quickly run through the. We can start with one, and we can quickly scroll down. Do you have the CPA evolution presentation, or which one do you have?
It's all together, it's all combined, Mr. Shan.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you all know about Orbit, with locations in 9 cities and corporate houses and all the stuff. So you want to go to the next slide. That was. And of course, like to all students, I keep on telling that experience is not a substitute for professional certification. So getting a professional certification like your CMA and CPA is going to give you more reach. You don't have to sell yourself more with the employer. With those qualifications, you're right there, already sold most of your skills, and people just want to know your experience then. You can go to the next slide, actually. So we offer, as I mentioned, we offer CPA, CMA, and we don't, and EA is offered by iLead. So we don't offer CFA and CIA as of now. So Becker is the topmost provider for this qualifications. All toppers are from Becker. But we go to the next slide, actually. So now with Becker we give you online lectures, we give you print copies of the material, we give you multiple choice questions, we give you task-based simulations, and we give you mock examination. So basically the whole tools that you require to pass the examination are always available to you. And what does Orbit add to this? And this is what I was telling, and I tell this in the class every day. We make sure that your conceptual understanding of the Becker material is very thorough. A typical online lecture of a Becker, which goes from 3 to 3.5 hours, is taught online by the Orbit instructors, and we have a lot of instructors. Is taught by Orbit instructors, and our average teaching time on each lecture is double to 3 times that of the Becker duration online lecture. So if I want to suppose do I've just started auditing 1. So auditing 1 will take me about, I would say, 7 to 8 hours to teach, which is more than double the time of the Becker online lecture. So supplemented by the online lecture of Becker, the paper print copy that you have, the multiple choice questions, the mock examination, we at Orbit emphasize on the fact that we want to make sure that all your conceptual understanding is very, very thorough. And once your concepts are clear, then your practical training, your application tools become much, much easier. So the entire focus of Orbit methodology is to make sure that your conceptual understanding is clear. And then after each course ends, we have a revision session, which we dedicate a complete weekend to revising the whole chapter over again. So I can assure you, and we've been doing it for 27 years, I can assure you that you will like like the methodology of Orbit, and it will ensure your success rate much greater than you can even think. And this is supported by the fact that most of our students clear the examination very, very fast and very quickly, and the highest pass rate. So you go to the next slide. All these things come with certification, your success, your mobility, your career, your financial growth, all that stuff. Next. Okay, you all know about me. I'm going to skip this slide. Next one. Sharmili Sawant is the admin manager of Becker. She and we take it's a matter of pride for us that all the people who started with us. And as I mentioned, we started in 97. Most of the people have been with us from day one. Somebody might have joined us from 2005, but they're still with us. So the people you will be dealing with at the orbit level are very experienced, who know exactly about this qualification, how to go about it. And with all our connections, like, with all our employer connections, corporate connections, and this Miller staffing that we have, and the experienced staff that we have, the counseling and the scheduling, you're in very good hands. And with the type of instructors and the focus that we put on your conceptual understanding, your chances of passing with orbit are very, very high. Next. Okay, so the course is CPA, very similar to CA in India. It is the highest accounting credential of the US. It's offered by the ASCPA, but administered by the 55 states that we have. So next slide, yeah. So with, as I mentioned to you, with certification, you'll get all these financial opportunities within India, outside India. But my request and always my message to all the students is that a qualification like CPA CMA, which is world recognized, does not need any rationalization. It doesn't need any logic. It's one qualification which you can blindfolded say that this qualification is going to take me all across. It's going to give me a lot of potential. So we in India and everywhere else also, and more so in India, we have a tendency of deferring decision taking. So I would request all the students that when you know that a qualification is so good, it's going to give you so many opportunities. The return on your investment is exponential. I spend $2,000-3,000, but I start my job at $80,000. So the relationship of what you spend and what you're going to earn, the exponential opportunities are just going to be way out. So, and it doesn't need any rationalization. It only needs your first decision that yes, I want to qualify. And like anything else, there's a right time for everything. The sooner you do it, the more beneficial it is to you. Time has an opportunity cost. So I would say that do not even think that should I really do CPA is going to be beneficial for me. 27 years in India, a qualification of the US being conducted in India, so many corporate houses offering back office services in accounting, taxation in India, and US companies globally placed. Your opportunities with this qualification are unlimited. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. Okay, so all these big employers, all the SP 500 companies are everywhere in the world, and they give you jobs. Yeah, next one. Okay, how do you become a CPA in India? You need to be eligible, you need to have the education, and you need to pass the examination. Eligibility, okay, so if you're a BCom, you're a chartered accountant, you're an ICWA with an accounting background, you will qualify to write the examination. We will help you in details, analyzing your qualification and guide you as to where you should go. So education requirements, you need to be a graduate with an accounting background and need 150 semester hours to clear. But you can write the examination in 120 credit hours. A lot of graduation courses like BComs from AAA rated university do get that credit. As I mentioned to you, you just submit your certificates to us, but all that you make sure is to approach us, you make sure that you're a graduate with an accounting background, and we will guide you from there on. Where do you enroll, which state do you go to, and all. Next step. Okay, so now, as I mentioned to you, the CPA evolution is changing. The pattern of examination is changing. Go to the next slide. Okay, we have, the CPA examination over the years has been 4 papers: auditing, financial, regulation, and business. So the business paper is being eliminated. It's a 4-hour examination, almost 50% multiple choice or 50% simulations, which is an essay type. So now the business paper, starting from January 10th, 24, is being replaced by a choice of 3 disciplines, business analysis and reporting, which is BAR, information systems control, the ISC, and tax. So when it comes to the 4th paper, business environment, you'll have to make one of these selections. Like if I want to specialize in tax compliance, so my entire business paper will all cover the tax issues. Or if you want to get into information technology and systems and control, or business analysis and reporting. So you'll have to make that option selection for the fourth paper. Next one. So very similar. I mean, what I did discuss that core papers will stay the same, but for the business paper, you'll have that matrix selection and the focus. And as we go into more IT environments, and artificial intelligence. So even the profession is recognizing that we should shift to this methodology. It covers covers the concept of conceptual understanding, critical thinking, problem solving. All that will stay. And then you might have some new features like drag and drop box for multiple choice questions. Into the next. Again, more emphasis on technology, more emphasis on data analyticals, and the need of the profession today. Go next one. So we, make sure that we have all the skills. I tell all my students that whatever are the requirements of the profession, those are there. Those are regulated and formulated by the ASCPA. I, as a student, what should I worry about? I should worry about the fact that I'm teaching with the best people. I'm using the best material, which is Becker. The people teaching me are most skilled, very experienced. Orbit has that. We've been around for 27 years and we have a lot of qualified instructors, and the methodology. And regarding the fact that are these qualifications beneficial, I've told you can blindfoldedly select to do this. And history tells us that anybody who did the course in India with us is very handsomely employed, gainfully employed in India and elsewhere, earning much more than you can even think of. So there's an exponential return on your investment here. You go to the next slide. There are some sites where you can get more information, but this is all historical. Again, emphasizing the point that you don't need to rationalize. Something that is good, you do it. You do it without thinking and trying to find out why is it good. I was already qualified, very well employed at my own practice in Canada, but I knew that CPA was a good qualification, and just thinking that tomorrow maybe my kids might move to US, let me do it, because it was a wonderful qualification. And one fine morning, on a Saturday morning, I got up and I went to a Becker Center in Toronto, and 4 months later I was a CPA. So I did not even think about why should I do CPA. And just think of this, sitting in Canada, not even working with US qualifications, but still I went ahead and did it with this slim possibility that maybe tomorrow my kids might go to study in the US. And it has changed my entire path of life. I got the franchise rights from Becker to open up CPA centers in India. I'm doing 2 CPA firms. Today I'm a member, I'm a partner with a staffing company in the US, and I know so many corporates in India. I've worked in conjunction with Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. So the opportunities that have come in, and trust me, I can give you hundreds of examples of my students, who have sought help with Orbit. We have placed people right from India with Deloitte Boston, Deloitte Denver, Deloitte New York. I know all the people in all these top organizations who are placed here. People who were for some years in India but came back to US. So, and now with Miller Staffing, we will help you with. Firstly, we will help you with all the academic support to pass the examination. You have the right material, the right tools, the right people, the right instructor, the right skilled people to guide you. And then we have this placement company to help you out. So go to the next slide. Again, a 50% essay type, 50% simulations, and in B's in the electives, it'll be 60% multiple choice and 40% essay type questions. Yeah, next one. 4 hours paper. 4 hours paper. There are anywhere between 72 multiple choice questions and about 8 task-based simulations in the core subjects, 7 to 8 task-based simulations. So this pattern is all standard, and so it'll continue. The examination will be offered at the Prometric testing centers in India. and it's probably more, it's year-round examination. You can schedule it anytime you like, and we will guide you with all that. All that you need to worry is to take a decision. Yes, I want to do it, and we will do hands holding, just like Shamini told. We'll do hands holding and guide you through this whole thing, and make you thoroughly prepared to write the examination. So no changes in skills and all that stuff. As I mentioned to you again, that we emphasize on conceptual understanding. The way Orbit teaches, we spend triple the time of a typical Becker online lecture. And we tell the students that before you come to the class, you read the material, listen to the lecture a little, and then we will make sure in the class that your total concepts are very, very clear. And we follow that up, and we spend 3 times the time in making sure that the concepts are very clear. And then after the course is over, like after the auditing paper is over, we'll give a 2-week break to the students. We emphasize that those 2 weeks that we give a break to you is for you to revise that auditing paper thoroughly, and then we hold a revision session. So, the whole Orbit methodology and the emphasis is that when you come for the revision session, you are basically almost at the door of writing the examination. So you're thoroughly prepared. And the next one. So again, this electives is 60% multiple choice, 40% task-based simulations and all. Next one. The content changes, of course, whenever you specialize in something, there is a bit of an overlapping from one core area to another core area. So there'll be some switches from some chapters taken out of the financial paper, which will go into the tax paper or into the electives and all this stuff. So that is going to be there. It's going to be more focused, in-depth coverage of the present course content. And that is what this whole, demand for the profession, advocates that we do. Next one. Auditing attestation. I mean, this covers about, what are the shiftings that we do. So no auditing paper was moved to any other section. So BEC topics moved to the auditing. So auditing stayed as it did, but topics like internal control from the business environment paper went to the auditing paper and all. So you will see that auditing paper is every chapter, every paper is going to become more detailed now, because it's going to be more focused on just auditing. So anything that was overlapping in the business paper will come back here. So you go to the next one. And then, of course, the fair paper, a lot of the current topics that will be moved to the bar. So topics from the financial paper, which will go into that elective of financial analysis, which is bar, are all these topics here, which will be moved. So whatever is left in the financial paper will carry more weightage and all that stuff here. So go to the next one. And then, of course, all these public reporting requirements. And the regulation paper is the taxation paper, regulation. So here also the current regulation papers will be moved to the tax section of the electives that you have. So in a nutshell, of course, there's going to be a mix and match of papers connected with what the examination is all going to be about. So what this will lead to is that there'll be more concentration and in-depth coverage of the material. So compared to the present format, this examination is going to get a little more challenging, a little more difficult also. Yeah, can you go to the next one? Okay, this is the paper that is changing. The bar discipline, this is, as I mentioned to you, the business environment paper has 3 disciplines. One is bar, which is business analyticals and reporting. So when you, more emphasis on analysis, I mean, everybody is looking at financial statements. How do you digest? How do you interpret financial statements? How do you take decisions on based on financial statements? So this paper is going to be in-depth coverage of all the tools to analyze financial statements, to do ratio analysis, stock compensation, so that you can take very prudent decisions about how to move forward with the company, investments and all. Next one. This is more about the more topics that will be covered in this bar paper. Then information technology and controls, there'll be more emphasis on how you can use IT to perform engagements like SOX 2, SOX 1 engagements, which are basically engagements of service organizations testing the internal control and testing all the IT controls that we have in place. More emphasis on that here. And tax and compliance is, of course, you want to specialize in taxation. All the students at iLead, who have chosen and or sort of taken the first step that you want to do the EA course, which is into tax preparation. So when you enhance your qualifications and you change you supplement your EA qualification with CPA, and you want to specialize in tax, then in the BEC paper you'll probably make this elective at all. Yeah, next one. So more about tax compliance here. Okay, considering all these changes, I as a student, what should I really worry about? I would not worry about what is shifting to what topic or what chapter. I would not worry about what. Of course, I would very prudently make the selection in the BEC section as to what elective I want to go to. I want to progress in my profession in the tax field or in the financial statement analysis field. That selection you'll have to make. The content will stay the same. This is regulated by AICPA, something that we don't have control over, and we cannot pick and choose. So, getting a CP qualification is just like climbing a ladder. You take the first step, you take the second step, and then you reach the top of the ladder. So, as a student, my message to all the students is that keep your goals short term. Have a short-term focus that, okay, CP is a wonderful qualification. It doesn't need analysis. It doesn't need any justification. I should do it, and I should do it as quickly as possible. I should not defer decision-taking. I should do it. I choose the Becker material because Becker is the best material to give you enough content. If you think that there is anybody capable of writing the material for the CP examination, you're wrong. I mean, we have a full-fledged team of experts that write the contents for the Becker material for the CPA course preparation. And anybody telling you or indicating that, we will give you our own notes and we will give you our own questions and answers, you can prepare with that. You are not fully prepared. You are semi-prepared for the examination. Do not take that chance. Do not take that risk of preparing with half the content. So anybody giving you this message that, our material is enough, do not be fooled by that. Go with the material that is top-notch material prepared by the best experts, is adaptive to all the changes and the regulations by AICPA, which Becker is. Becker is the founder and the oldest CPA course preparator, the most popular one. And then make sure that the people teaching you are the best. I mean, don't fall for online lectures or people portraying. I mean, a lot of these people who deliver online lectures, what they do is they show their recorded lectures. They don't even come to the class, and they show their recorded lectures, which are probably recorded lectures based on their material. That I would be cautious about that. I would be cautious about that. We share our recorded lectures with you, but we do not play the recorded lectures in the classes. A lot of course providers would play the recorded lectures. Every time we teach you fresh. We teach you fresh based on the adaptive changes that have taken place in the material and all this stuff here. So you make sure that, and then you make sure that you're guided properly in terms of enrolling for the examination, passing the examination, getting licensed. And then, as I mentioned to you, we did placements before also, but we did it in a very passive manner. An employer would approach us, we would send resumes. But now we are giving this a full-fledged format of partnering with Miller Staffing, which is a US-based placement company, which will have reach to all the US CPA firms. We will have reach to all the American companies worldwide. It's going to take some time, reaching all this here, but you will have the opportunities of being a potential candidate on our database with Miller Staffing, and it is strictly a placement company in in the background of finance, accounting, taxation, and that's what we will be doing. Can we go to the next slide? Again, for the people who are already in the course, I recommend it that you do the BEC paper now and you don't defer it till next year, because your writing skill section is pretty easy and you can score good marks. Once it gets into specialization, it's going to become harder. But for you people, since you don't have that choice or the flexibility of writing the BEC paper now, because we're already into August, you won't be able to write it this year. So you just accept these changes. Just bear in your mind that this is a wonderful qualification, and whatever it is, whatever the course consent and the changes are, accept it and just let Orbit lead you to the success in this course, in this examination. Next. Finally, Beck has been around for 60 years. Orbit has been around for 27 years. We took CPA to India. We have 1 million plus CPAs over 60 years in Becker. All toppers are from Becker. Orbit has a history. A lot of people who offer the CPA course are probably are ex-students. Most of them are ex-students who have been associated with Orbit classes and all. So we're not here to compare Orbit with anybody else. We're just here to tell you what Orbit stands for. And again, I just want to emphasize one last thing. Orbit concentrates on and ensures that your conceptual understanding of all the accounting principles, the auditing standards required to pass the examination is thoroughly conveyed to you, and you know them. Once your concepts are clear, all your other applications will get clear. Your problem solving will get easier also. So that is why we spend triple the time in the class, and we have a whole bunch of experienced instructors who teach you, and then we support you right from your decision point to take this examination till your licensing and till your placements. So you can't go wrong, and we've been around for 27 years. So history itself is a witness, a testimonial to what we've done in India and what we can do for you also. So that was the last slide.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so with those words, I'd like to thank you. And now, if you have any questions, you can either put it in the chat box or you can ask here. With me, as I mentioned to you, we have Nanda, who's been around teaching the EA course for so many years. We have Mr. Aziz, who's the International Director of Becker. He can guide you. Maybe I can, Aziz, you want to add some things and say a few words? Aziz, you there?
I think Aziz has just left. He's just exited.
Okay, he's just left. So Aziz is the International Director of Becker, and we have the top people supporting you in this mission of pursuing this qualification. So now if you have any questions for Mr. Nanda, Shamili, Payal, me, it'll be our pleasure to take them and then address them.
Fine, sir. I have some questions, which is coming from the audience on the YouTube. And also people are more excited, about this extension, of that 30 months. So they want to know what is this 30 months. So is CPA for 30 months or is it just an extension? So if any of you can clarify on that.
Okay, what was happening was, previously you could hold a credit in a paper for 18 months, which say like I passed the financial accounting paper and I had to clear the other 3 papers in 18 months to get my full qualification. Suppose if I had not cleared, then something that was more than 18 months, I had to rewrite that paper. Now that 18 months window has been extended to 13 months. So technically you have like 2.5 years to write the CP examination, but like anything else, something that can be done in 12 months should not be extended to 13 months just because the AICPA gives you that opportunity. The sooner you pass and the more focused you are in your preparation, it will help you out. Yeah.
So just for example, if you wrote the first paper on 1st of Jan 2020, so previously what happened was by 30th June 2021, you have to finish all the 4 papers, or you would lose the credit for the first paper. But now this would be valid for 2.5 years. So if you're writing the exam on 1st Jan 2020, you can hold these credits up to 30th June 2022.
Okay. One of the other questions is from Mr. Gautam. Is asking, are there any bridge courses available for BCom graduates to get the required CPA credits? People who are not chartered accountants or who are not semi-qualified. So how does it help a BCom person, with 15 years of education?
We have associations with a lot of universities in India, which will give you that bridge course to fulfill your credit requirements. So as I mentioned to you, once you take the decision to write the CP examination and you send us your education background, we will guide you what is the next step. And in case a bridge course is required, we'll recommend that you go here and this is the course that you take. All the guidance will be done for you. Yeah.
There are bridge courses available, and in addition to that, there are a few state boards, 1 or 2 state boards, who also accept you as a candidate for CPA if you just enroll for the MCOM course also. But there are certain prerequisites to it, like you need to have certain number of accounting subjects prior to doing MCOM. So we will, when the student enrolls with us, we'll definitely guide them, but there are always options available. There are bridge courses, and in some cases you just enroll for MCOM and you can be eligible for CPA. So those options are available so that the students don't waste any time.
Okay, the next question is from Divya, and she's asking about the exam pattern. Divya, as Mr. Krish has already detailed, it will be multiple choice questions. There will be task-based simulations, and just in BEC paper, it will be written communication test. And
the written communication is now no longer.
Now no longer. This is the only.
Yeah.
Earlier it was only these 3 kind of exam patterns: MCQs, task-based simulation, and then written communication test. So people who are writing CPA in 2023, maybe they may have that. But from 2024, as the BEC is gone, written communication test would not be there. Only MCQs and task-based simulations would exist.
Yes, and it's a computer-based test held at Prometric centers.
Okay, another question is from Manisha. She's asking, does CPA ever expire?
No, it doesn't. So once you are a CPA, you are a CPA forever. So even if you don't get a license immediately, the degree doesn't expire. But we do advise that you do get a license. It's better because more doors open for you.
Yeah.
But the credits always remain.
Okay. Just like, how does the CPE work here, ma'am? How does the CPE work here?
In India?
No, for the CPA. So just like for EA, how we have the continuing professional education. So what is it for CPA?
For that only happens. Continuing professional education is there if you want to practice individually as a CPA in the US. That is the time you're required to take the CPE credits. If you're working for any of the multinationals anywhere in the world, you don't need to keep up with the CPE.
Okay.
And moreover, the state boards have offered their own CPA courses, CPE courses. So like every 3 years I have to renew mine. I'm a licensed CPA in Florida, in New Jersey, and in Ohio. So I have to do CPE courses also, and my Becker teaching does give me credit for that. But the state board will say that, okay, these are the courses and you just enroll for them. They are online courses which you can do at home. So it's not a big deal. Even Becker has a whole library of CPE courses which you can take.
So it's like if you enroll for a course of 3 months, it will give you say 5 credits, 6 CPE credits. That is how it will work.
Fine. Rupesh has a question. Do we have any offer today? Please WhatsApp us and our enrollment advisors will get in touch with you, Rupesh. One of the other questions is, sir, what is the starting salary of CPA in India? Once they qualify, what is the starting salary for a fresher?
Yeah, you can continue, Mr. Sharma.
I think the starting salary for anybody who becomes a CPA is about 12 lakhs. starting salary. I know of students, who after being a CPA for about 4 or 5 years are earning as much as 2.5 to 3 lakhs a month. So, Rupesh, these things will automatically follow.
Yeah.
Everybody who's a CPA is very handsomely employed, gets a very attractive salary both in India and abroad also. But as an indicator, you start around 12 lakhs.
Okay. That's a good start to start off with a 6-digit salary in India.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question from Kirti is, how many attempts are there for CPA exam?
Unlimited number of attempts. There's no cap on the number of attempts, provided you're ready to pay the exam fees, right? And that is quite huge. So.
How much is the examination fees, ma'am?
If you're writing the exam in India, it is approximately $2,400. If you're writing the exam in US, it is approximately $1,000 to $1,100.
Okay.
But for Dubai and India, you have to pay additional about $1,450 for international testing.
Okay, if it is India, it is $2,400, so roughly $600 per paper.
Yes, it's $550 per paper, and then there's $150 registration fee, which is just one-time fee. But the $550 to $600 per paper has to be paid every time you write the exam.
Marshi has a question. How long does it take to complete CPA?
It all depends on the student. As Mr. Sharma said, he completed it within 4 to 5 months. So if you're a full-time student, we would say if you give it your complete focus and attention, within 6 to 7 months, full-time student can complete CPA. And if you're a working professional, we would say about a year. So within a year, you can complete this course.
One thing all students be conscious of the fact that you don't want to take too long, and you don't want to try to rush it also, which is a compromise to being fully prepared for the examination. So analyzing over the last 27 years, the average time a student normally takes to clear the CPA examination is anywhere between 9 to 14 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, another question is like, should I prepare and then appear for my first paper, or should I prepare one paper and then appear? Because the time is only 18 months.
No, it's 30 months now. But the approach is there's a variation as to what strategy people choose. Some people choose to write one paper at a time. They study for one paper, they write the exam, then they study for another paper, write that exam. But 50% of them take all the 4 papers and then go back to the first paper, prepare it, and write. I would recommend that you study for all the 4 papers. And then we at Orbit give you the option of coming for the second revision with us again. Like suppose today I join Orbit and I start with the financial paper, I finish financial auditing, regulation, and then I finish the elective. So that is done, and then you decide to write the examination. And suppose we say that okay, we are doing the BEC paper now again. Because every 6 months we start the course again. So that you are allowed to attend the BEC paper again also, without any cost.
Okay.
So you can come. So my approach, but with whatever suits you, depending on there are a lot of factors that are personal. My approach is prepare for all the 4 papers, and then take 3 to 4 weeks off, and then concentrate on one, revise it thoroughly, and write the examination. But do all the 4 papers, study at the same time first.
So now it is 30 months time.
Months to clear all the 4 papers, yeah.
Okay, no longer 18 months.
No.
Okay, fine. Kanisha has a question. How long is the license valid? I think as Shamili ma'am said, it's valid forever. You just have to complete the credits, that is there.
And you have to pay license fees every 3 years. That's all.
Okay.
So it is valid, yeah.
Okay. And the question from Kirti: does CPA need articleship?
Yes, it is articleship in the sense you need to work under another CPA depending on the state board which you've registered for. But the usual time frame is anywhere between 1.5 years to 2 years. That is the most common where Indian students can register in those state boards. So once you finish your exam, once you clear all the 4 papers, you need to write the ethics exam, which is the online exam, open book exam, 3 hour. After you finish that, you need to work under another CPA for 1.5 to 2 years. They can certify your experience. You need to sign on your experience certificate, and then you can get a license.
Just to add to that, why do you need a license? Do all CPAs have a license? The statistics are that 70% of CPAs in the United States are not licensed. Okay. So the only requirement to be licensed is if I want to do an audit, audit of a public company. Now I'm licensed in Ohio, I'm licensed in Florida, I'm licensed in New Jersey, but in my profession, in the accounting firms that I have, US India Tax and Sherman Marcus, my audit clients only make up less than 5% of the total work that I do. I only have 1 or 2 audit clients. Mostly I do review engagements, compilation engagements, tax returns, financial advisory, for which I don't need to be licensed. And 70% of CPAs are not licensed. So license is only required in the US if you want to do public audits. Otherwise, it's not required.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is a good revelation, sir. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is by Prem. How many testing windows are there for CPA exam?
Right now, there is no blackout period. The exams are conducted continuously. Like if we take the first quarter of the years, Jan, Feb, March, from 1st Jan to 10th March, you can write the exam anytime. It's an on-demand exam. The Prometric centers are open from morning 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the evening. You can select your own date and time. Only the 20 days in the month of March are blackout period. Same way for the next quarter, April, May, June. From 1st April to 10th June, you can write the exam anytime. Okay. And just a 20-day blackout period.
Okay. This question is from Anu. Can we expect immediate results after the exam?
Not immediate. It takes about 2 weeks for you to get the results.
Next question is, what is the validity for Becker's course access once they enroll? What is the validity for this?
In line with the 30 months window, Becker material is valid for 30 months, but we have the option of buying an unlimited version of the Becker material at a little extra cost, so that if there are any changes or beyond 30 months, you automatically get them.
Okay, and the question is, sir, what are the career benefits of doing CPA apart from employment? A question from Shravani.
Look what I'm doing. I'm into CPA practices. I do valuations. I just did an assignment on bankruptcy of a client. I am working on tax credit refunds. I'm working on employee retention credits. You can specialize and do so many things. I mean, so we will guide you. And, we also work a lot with our students. I have Pranav, who's based in Canada. We both go and do SOX audits for clients. So the opportunities are unlimited, and there are many specialization areas you can look into. Once you become a CPA, and I'll talk to you in detail, and we can figure out what you want to do, and then make you very concrete, precise suggestions and all.
Okay, this is my personal question, sir. Like the 4 parts in the CPA, four papers, in the CPA exam. Like what you said, accounting, analysis, reporting, taxation. So do you think audit is of less importance practically? I mean, in the order of priority.
No.
What type of clients do we get practically? Is it more of taxation?
Every CPA should have a thorough understanding of financial statements. all the accounting principles, generally accepted accounting principles of the US, and those authoritative statements needed to prepare financial statements and analysis. So it is a core requirement in a CPA profession. Just like accounting, being able to prepare tax returns at the entity level, at the personal level, at the non-profit level, at the estate level is also a core requirement for every CPA. And then the last one is auditing. When I go into a company and I'm preparing financial statements, I want to make sure that all the numbers are very accurate and reasonable. So all the controls, and when we talk of auditing is basically attestation. I'm attesting that all the financial information, all the tax returns have been prepared properly. So auditing understanding is also a core requirement for a CPA. So as a CPA, you cannot choose just taxation. You have to choose taxation, financial, and auditing as a core requirement. And that is why even the AACPA profession has said that these 3 papers are mandatory. Yeah.
Okay, Rohit, how long does it take to become CPA? I think that was addressed, Rohit. With now 30 months window, even if you plan 1 paper for every 6 months, you will be a CPA in 2 years. So
Maximum 30 months, but Rohit, aim to do your CPA qualification in 9 to 14 months max.
Okay, this is coming from the leader, so please follow that. Okay, I am 45, says Deepali. Can I do CPA?
Absolutely. We have a student in this batch who is 64 and he is doing CPA. So if he can do it, 45 is just a number.
That's amazing. Okay, Rohit says, can I be self-employed as a CPA? Yes, that's what you got to say.
I wrote my CPA examination when I was 44.
Oh, wow, nice. So you have been teaching from 27 years, sir. Is that what we hear? 1997.
Yeah, from the time I qualified and set up Orbit Institutes in India, I've been teaching.
Okay, 1997. I was in my 9th standard. Okay, fine. What is the duration of this training? How many hours of training will it be? Be it from Becker's or Orbit, how many hours of training will it be?
So you can say that there are 8 modules in 10 modules in financial, 8 modules in regulation. So each module is about 4 hours. So I would say about 260 hours of material coverage, plus in classroom sessions are another double that time. So I would say anywhere about 400-500 hours of total time, including revision and preparation. Yeah.
Okay. Most of the questions are. You can also see in the YouTube comments, sir, and also our YouTube video. I'm just bringing up to screen all the comments that is coming from the students. How many testing windows is answered? Fee structure, ping us on WhatsApp. We will share the fee structure. Our enrollment advisor will also get in touch with you. Okay, can we go to USA directly by doing CPA? Mercy's question.
Of course.
Okay.
I'll tell you what happens, and this is a trend that is has been around for a while, even more now. When we do an analysis of the professions that have the maximum opportunity of employment, accounting is almost on the top. There is so much of rotation. American university graduates, people study less, and so there are less people aspiring to be CPAs. But the demand for the CPA profession, the requirement, the regulations demand that there's so many things a CPA has to do. So, your opportunities of employment are very, very high. And as I mentioned, with Miller Staffing, we will give you the tools and the mechanism to come find jobs here. A lot of things will depend upon, how the employer views sponsoring you for an H1 visa and all that stuff. But as I mentioned to you, over the last 27 years, 70% of our students have come to US.
There is no recession in the field of accounting, so it's a very safe job to take up in the US.
Absolutely. That's true. Which is the easiest CPA exam to take first? Padmini.
Every exam is easy, you just have to think it's easy.
But in my experience, we would say that what the students' feedback that we received, BSc was supposed to be the easiest, but now then that has turned into a discipline. So regulation is the second easiest. What happens with audit is it's a little bit confusing. Many of the students find the two answers a bit similar. So that's the confusion. So they find the finance and audit the toughest of all.
True and fair versus true and
And
correct.
also, I share this on YouTube, Nanda, that as a student, as an aspiring student, what should be my mental framework and my attitude? Okay. So I tell all my students that to become a CPA or to get a professional qualification, number one, you have to be very determined, disciplined, very important. And also very important is and always be positive minded. Positive minded means, a lot of students say, oh, sir, I go at 7 o'clock in the morning and I come home at 7 o'clock, and then my wife makes me do some work at home. I don't get time. So I tell my students, this is everybody's a part of life. We have our own schedules. We are all busy. But if you let these negative things conquer your mind, creep into your thought process, it is not a positive sign. Okay. The way you can look at this whole things is that I want to do CPA. Yes, I'm busy, but I'm going to find 2 hours to study.
Yeah.
So approach this exam with a very disciplined manner, in a very regulated fashion. You prepare for the examination and always be positive. Don't think of negative things that will go, I couldn't study, or it's too hard. Nothing is hard. Our success rates indicate that nothing is, so be very positive minded throughout this whole preparation. Yeah.
Correct. Can someone with criminal background do CPA?
Fortunately, they don't check the criminal background. It's just your educational background that they are interested in.
Okay. Okay. Gautam is saying, Sharma sir, I think the state boards are yet to accept the 30 months rule, and then only the 30 months rule will start. Is that true?
Some states have accepted it, some have not accepted it. You still have 18 months to do it. And as I mentioned to you, the average time is still 9 to 12 months, 9 to 14 months to clear the examination. All these things that are regulated and decided by other people, like the state board, by the professions, we don't have control over it. Okay, and even to dwell on it, even to think about it, is not the approach that we should take. I as a student, by the way, my son is only 27 years old. He finished his graduation, and I told him, do your CPA. And he completed his CPA in 1 year.
Great. Nice.
Yeah, he's already a CPA. He's the owner of a CPA firm with me in New Jersey called Shema Marcus. He's slowly getting into SOX audits and all the stuff here. So the approach for any aspiring student is to say that I want to do it. Whatever are things or factors that are not within my control, like the course content, the time period, the length, I should not worry about them. I should not worry about that because I cannot do anything. I cannot change the 30 months to 40 months. So, and also believe in yourself that you can do this examination in 9 to 14 months, and you'll do it.
Absolutely.
most of the states where Indian students register, they have changed their criteria from 18 to 30. So for India, it has changed. But there are some states which have not accepted. But NASBA is saying that since some of the states have accepted, the rest will follow. It's just a matter of time before they declare it.
We are not yet in 2024 also.
Yes.
Okay. Again, the same question. When are the CPA exam scores released?
The course
10 days after the
10 days.
10 maximum
10.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
After this, then you get your score.
So, for example, if you write the exam before 13th or 7th of February, whoever writes the exam before 7th of February, from 1st Jan to 7th February, they get their results, say, during the 21st or 22nd of February.
Okay. What's the pass percentage of CPA?
Worldwide, it's not very high, it's very low, but for Orbit Institutes, I would say it is about 85% in the first attempt.
To pass any CPA examination, you need to score 75% marks.
In each paper?
To pass that paper, yeah. And Orbit has a very high success rate of almost 75 to 80%.
Do you provide hard copy of materials?
Yes, we do. The Becca material that we provide includes hard copies, one for each subject, and then we'll provide you access to a software. That software has about 6,500 questions, 3 mock exams, ebooks, recorded lectures by US instructors, study planners, roadmaps, digital flashcards, progress tests after every chapter. All this is provided. In addition to that, Orbit provides their own lectures.
Great. Who issues CPA license? Anu.
The AICPA.
Okay.
CPA license is issued by the state board, where you register to write the examination, and you can be a member of the AICPA.
Pawan has a question. How do you address the work-life balance for candidates who are juggling full-time jobs and also preparing for CPA exam?
Oh, Pawan, I throughout I've been answering that. Everybody's got a very busy schedule. Let me tell you about my example, and I don't know whether it would, okay. When I wrote my CPA examination, my wife was expecting twins. Okay, so twins were born. I had 2 young boys in my house, very young, couple of months old. I had taken time off from work. I was cooking for my wife. I was helping her with the kids. And I was attending the Becker class, and I was studying to pass the examination, and I did it in 5 months.
Wow,
okay,
nice.
so Pawan, we have the flexible. You just have to dedicate, maybe when you're very busy during the week, dedicate 1 hour, 1.5 hours every day. On the weekend, dedicate more. Positively planned. You can do it. So everybody who writes a CPA examination is very busy.
That's
A
true.
lot of people from CPA, from accounting firms like Pricewaterhouse, KPMG, EY, you know how hard they work, how long they work. So you can do it.
Basically, you have to give up your social life for 7-8 months.
You have to be pregnant with CPA. Okay. Another question is, what's the difference between CPA and CFA?
Go ahead, Mr. Shah.
Yeah, Chartered Financial Analyst is more into a course which specializes in investments and advisory. Financial management and asset mixes and all that stuff. So if you're looking into, professions like being an investment broker, being investment analyst or being on the stock markets and all, then that is the line for you. If you're looking into a profession that gives you opportunities to get into accounting, tax returns, auditing, that is the profession for you. Now, with the CPA qualification, you have opportunities to be a teacher in a university. You have an opportunity to be to work as a CFO within a company. You have an opportunity to start your own practice. You can work with accounting firms. So your whole spectrum of possibilities of employment in different areas are more in CPA. It's just like a CA can do anything in India. He can be a teacher in a university. He can work as a CFO for a company. He can start his own practice. So all those opportunities. But CF is strictly investments. Yeah.
It's a hardcore finance field.
Yeah.
Okay. Kanchana is saying, heard that from next year the CPA syllabus is going to change. Can you throw some light on it?
We did discuss that the BEC paper will go into core specializations. You have to pick up one of those 3 electives. The electives are in the fields of IT, into financial statement and analysis, and the last one is taxation. So because of this change, each paper will become more specialized. There'll be in-depth coverage of more topics. So it'll be a little harder than what the format is right now.
They're focusing mainly on understanding and analysis.
That's good. And Kanchana, if I have to answer this question, it's like, once you become a CPA also, what is the area that you want to specialize in? Being, the 3 main subjects being accounts, auditing and taxes, like regulation. So in case you want to specialize in accounting, you may choose business analysis and reporting. If you want to get into audits, you can elect for this information systems and control. And in case you want to specialize in taxation, then tax compliance and planning. So for these 3 papers, whatever is your favorite, you can pick one of these electives. As sir and ma'am have just said, BC would be gone. So that's the update for that. Okay, what advice do you give to students who may have failed the CPA exam once or more? How do you support them in their journey to eventual success? Pawan.
Well, not everybody has success in the first attempt. My son failed, and he had to write one paper twice. Like anything else, you should not be discouraged. In fact, a failure once should put you into a more determined mode. You should be more determined and all that stuff. And we will support you. For all our students who need, I'll give you one example now. There's a student of mine who migrated from Punjab to Toronto, and she wrote her examination and she failed in one paper. And I was in Toronto, so I'm in touch with all my students. They have all my contact addresses. They have my telephone numbers. They have my. So she messaged me, sir, that I have failed in this paper, and I really need help and all this stuff. So my mother-in-law was in the hospital, in a nursing home. So I used to go in the morning at 10 o'clock to the nursing home and be there till 5 o'clock in the nursing home. So I told her, if you don't mind, you can come to the nursing home, and there's a special coffee section. We can sit down and study. So I studied with her for 3 days in a row, trying to understand where she went wrong, what mistakes she made, and then I guided her. So with Orbit, we will, suppose you have difficulties and you fail. In addition to all the regular pattern of teaching we have, we will give you specialized attention in addressing your areas of weakness and trying to overcome those difficult areas. Yeah.
Also, you can attend the classes any number of times, online classes. So once you pay the fees, it is not that you can attend it once for the 4 subjects and then we don't allow you again. It's not that if you, God forbid, do not clear any subject, you can also attend the classes for that subject again. So till the time you pass.
Okay, the last question, does iLead provide any internship to CPA students? Okay, like EA. Okay. See, like for EA, we do provide stipends. We give you an opportunity to work with our LLC on the US tax, accounting, and payroll. So in case you cleared at least 2 papers, yeah, you can expect a stipend of at least 50,000 rupees in India. So that's something that I can make out, and you can work with us for 1 tax season at least, wherein the internship could be from 6 to 9 months. So if you're interested to apply, you can send your CV to cpa@ileadtax.com. I hope that addresses Divya.
And also, we are now partners with Miller Staffing. And we will, we have all these opportunities, and because India is also the hub of back office work, so we will explore many opportunities to give you training, internships, placements, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, another question. So can MSc mathematics student study CPA? Is he eligible for CPA?
Most
No,
likely
he would not be.
because it doesn't have an accounting background.
He doesn't have an accounting background. Basically, for CPA, most of the states need 24 accounting credits. So the minimum requirement is that of a BCom. So if he's still interested, he can add some. He can take admissions for MCom or MBA, add some accounting subjects. So we can get in touch with him individually and guide him exactly how we can go about it. But currently, based on his MSc, he cannot qualify for CPA.
So do you mean to say that primarily it should be the commerce background student?
For CPA, yes.
I like to
Or
also,
a commerce background or a BBA who has accounting subjects.
I also like to add one thing here that we didn't talk about the CMA course, Certified Management Accountants course, which is another course that we offer. So that course is eligible for anybody with any background. Any graduate with any background, they can write the CMA course. And the CMA course is also a course which gives you a job prospect in the field of accounting and finance. So anybody who's a BBA or MA mathematics can opt for the CMA course. And very similar to CPA, the examinations are offered in India, and we can provide more detailed information on the CMA course. But you can write it. It's a shorter course, and you can get into that profession even with a mathematics background.
Okay, and the question is from Shekhar. Shekhar is a EA, and now he wants to do CPA. So can I get any exemption, and how quickly can I complete CPA?
Shekhar, no exemptions. You can complete it within 6 months, 9 months.
Okay, if you're a EA, I think halfway through. So if you
Yeah,
take
halfway
the
through.
elective,
Yeah, halfway through.
Your taxation regulation paper is almost done, and your financial statement preparation. You need to have these statements to even do tax returns. So you have a lot of understanding. So you've covered quite a lot of the course content. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have answered most of the questions, sir. So how does the job market look for EAs and CPAs? I think it was answered, Pawan. The opportunities are enormous. I think you will only have limitations choosing the geographies and the domains you may have to work in. But it's like what Shamili ma'am said a while ago. It's a recession-proof industry, and you can very much be in a safe abode. So I think we have got very good number of viewers today, sir. We crossed some 3,000 plus viewers, so that's very nice.
The last I checked, it was 3,900. So.
Oh, okay, right.
I like to also add one thing that these qualifications will give you a lot of opportunities. I mean, these are qualifications, that are accepted for employment in almost every country in the world. And for you to justify or to rationalize is not really required. There is a cost, of course. There's a cost involved to doing these qualifications, but the returns are exponential. Like if you do a typical, in very simple financial analysis, if I do an MBA at a second-rate university in India, I probably spend 6 to 7 lakhs, right? Here, in less than maybe 3 to 4 lakhs, you can do CPA or CMA. CMA, you can do it in 2 lakhs. CPA can do it in 3.5 or 3.6 lakhs. Even the financial cost of these courses is much lower than doing an MBA in India, and the opportunities are thousand times more.
Do we have any loan arrangements for students who cannot afford much?
We have associations with companies that do extend loans, so we will put you in touch with them. Yeah.
We'll give about 9 months loan to the students, and that will include the exam fees, evaluation fee, course fee, even the cost of a laptop to study. So everything would be covered.
Oh, nice.
And they will give installments for 9 months. So certainly we have these tie-ups, so we'll definitely pass on them.
Okay. Can we start doing CPA after doing CMA? Because I have no commerce background. That's a question.
CMA would not give any credits for CPA. Since it's a professional course, CPA basically requires you to have a university degree from an accredited college and NAC approved universities, UGC approved. Only then they would consider those credits. So since CMA is a professional course for which you don't really need to go to a university, that course will not give any credits for CPA.
Answering your question, that with the low credits that I have, can I do my CPA? I think what we need to do is to analyze how many credits you have right now. So you send us all your transcripts, we analyze it, and we say that, say you're short of 12 credits. Then what we do is, rather than doing your CMA, we recommend that you take these courses, which could be 3 months courses or 6 months courses, and pick up those credits. So that is the route we will take. But it's very much feasible that even with low credits, we identify what are the supplement courses you take, and you write your CPA examination. Yeah.
Okay. Great. I think that's it for now, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much, for being a part of today's seminar. We are all, Mr. Nanda, me, we are teachers. Our job is to teach, and as teachers, we want our students to earn their aspiring qualifications and all that stuff. So you can leave this seminar with total confidence that you have the right people holding your hands, guiding you. These qualifications do not need any analysis. And it's not very costly. As I've mentioned to you, the opportunities are unlimited. Take that decision, and don't try to logic or rationalize it. Once you do decide, trust me, we are behind you to make sure that within a short span of maybe 9 to 14 months, you qualify as a CPA or a CMA. Yeah. We will help you, we'll support you fully, and then we'll explore opportunities for you, where you should do a job, what are the specializations you can go into. We have forums, we have sessions on career counseling, all that stuff follows. But right now, your focus is enrolling and doing your CPA. After that, all the other discussions, we'll do it as once you have those grades behind you. Yeah. So thank you so much, and thank you, Mr. Nanda, for being with Orbit in Hyderabad and in the southern India. It's always a pleasure to to have you as and combine our skills and efforts, and all this and to the students, thank you so much. And Shamili, thank you. Payal, thank you. And I'm sure very soon we'll be doing another seminar once you're all successful in your qualifications. We'll discuss. We'll schedule seminars. We do that all the time. That for all the qualified CPAs, what is the next step you should do? What career counseling? We guide you on all that. So we'll have different kinds of seminars. But right now, take that decision, enroll, and let us help you become a CPA in 14 months. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that I would like to add here, students, is there are so many people out there, and like what Mr. Krish has said, most of them were his students or people who have studied from Beckers. And one thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're studying from people like Krish or anybody else, you got to check who are the teachers, because it is not the classroom, it is the teacher who makes all the difference. And as he said rightly a while ago, we really aim to see the best of you. And because we are also in the industry practicing all these things that we are trying to teach you, I think you should work with somebody who is not only preaching these subjects but also practicing these subjects live. So that is an edge that you will have when you're learning from people like Krish, Amili and all.
I'm a teacher, and I also run a CPA. I run 2 CPA firms. I run an educational institute. I'm a part of a placement company. So all the angles to your route, we try to cover in them. And also Mr. Nanda would like to extend an invitation to a free demo class for anybody who wants to see how we teach. So we hold classes on Saturdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. India time. Okay. So anybody who's interested can send a mail to you, and we'll send them an invite to join the seminar class.
Done, sir. Yeah. Nice of you. Okay, fine,
so
sir.
We'll make sure that all students cross the line, the CPAs. So
definitely.
There would not be any student left behind. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much, Krish sir, Shamli ma'am, and Payal, Nitin for joining us today, and also Aziz from Beckers. It was very nice to have you in iLead Tax Academy today. Yeah, let me just bid farewell to my students and then come back to you. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Okay, people. So that was, Mr. Krish Sharma and his team. I wish you all the very, very best. Becoming a CPA is really, a great honor.
Shamili.
And I would definitely, ask. And I would definitely, request all of you to give it a thought and, make the best in your career. We got to be, the face of New India, like what I keep saying always, my Naye Bharat ka chehra. And unless we grow, we become, those entrepreneurs and contribute to the economic development of the nation cannot go further. Okay, so let's work towards it and let's give it, the best shot. Today I enjoyed, talking to both of them, the team. I've learned so many things about CPA, and I look forward to seeing you also as CPA. All the very, very best. Yeah, God bless you, and I'll see you in the next session. Stay tuned. Please do subscribe to our channel, also iLead Tax Academy. Go through the presentation once again, and in case you need a copy of this presentation, please do WhatsApp 786-786-1120. It's a very easy number to remember. 1120. C Corp written. 786-786-1120. It's very easy to remember. Make sure that this year is going to be a year of purpose. In case you are doing your EA, complete your EA, learn RTP also, get into CPA. You've just seen, you're just halfway through. A legend, who has been a legendary teacher for 27 years has admitted that, how wonderful, the portfolio could be once you qualify your CPA. Okay. All the very best. I am very, very excited to see you all, as a CPA. Let's contribute, to the building of our great nation. Let's empower our nation, with education, employment, and entrepreneurship. Thank you very, very much for being our vision partner. God bless you. See you soon.